Welcome to She's in the Weeds.
I'm Sam.
And I'm Hollis.
We're best friends exploring the intersection of pop culture and the female experience.
Be sure to follow us on socials and subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode.
And if you love us, give us that 5-star review.
Nailed it.
I think it's fine.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello.
We're back.
Okay. Sorry I said hello so weird. We were...
Hello?
I know. We were just bragging about how our recording software had been working so well. And then, of course, this time it was being a little persnickety. What is it doing now?
I
Activity.
don't know. Uploading audio recording.
What, our messed up one from before?
Possibly.
Oh, well, the lines are moving, so we're going to...
That's what... It's a very scientific way of knowing it's working. The lines are moving.
Yes.
We've got action. We've got activity.
We have activity. It's not flatlining. And yeah, I think this is a good time to, soft launch possibly our next business venture. Not that we can really call the podcast a business venture yet because it makes us $0. But when we're trying to figure out new things we need to do for the podcast, every YouTube video assumes that you know at least something.
Yeah.
So I really think at some point, Hollis and I are going to have to start making YouTube tutorials for people who literally know nothing.
Zero.
Here's what to do when you need to do this, but you know nothing.
Right.
Because we figured it out. We had to watch 17 videos and compile them together to figure it out, but we did. And now we're going to tell you how to do it as if you're a complete moron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to then Google where is every button that they're referring to.
Exactly. Like, I would not be able to do this if I had to plug it in and no.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
It's
it took me a while. And honestly, sometimes I'm like, was that dial turned that far to the right before?
Oh, yeah. No clue.
I don't think so. Hopefully it sounds okay.
Right. So anyway, be on the lookout for those YouTube tutorial videos.
Yeah. I find audio tutorial videos, though, people who can do it professionally, I have the utmost respect for because it is way more complicated than video stuff, I feel like, which I had a little bit of a grasp on at my last job. But the audio stuff, I could never really figure out. I
mean, the problem is that they're using certain terminology where I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. It was like, okay, you need a 1/4-inch patch cable for this, and I'm like, what's a patch cable?
How big is a 1/4 inch?
Yeah. What's a 1/4 inch? And then I go on Amazon and there's 17 different kinds of 1/4-inch patch cables, and some have this plug-in and some have this, and some are, how long do they need to be? It's just so
you can really get lost in the sauce.
Yes, you can really get in the weeds, if you will.
Yeah.
So anyway, I do have to say I had the absolute biggest spider I've ever had in my house. It was horrifying. I literally thought someone was playing a joke on me and it was a fake spider.
Ew, no.
So, and it was just funny because there's a shelf above the toilet in our guest bathroom. And so I always decorate that shelf because it's just an easy place to put decorations. And I have some little acorns and fall decorations up there. And my daughter had this little plastic spider in her room, for whatever reason. She has all these little critters. And it was on the floor, and so I picked it up, and instead of putting it away with her other critters, I was like, and I just set it on the shelf, and it's now part of the decorations. And it's a pretty small plastic spider, but
oh my God, I'm getting scared.
Earlier that evening, and it was kind of right before I saw the actual spider, she had brought it into me, and she goes, oh, my spider is up there. And I go, oh yeah, I just set it up there. I'm like, go put it back. It's part of the decorations. You can have it after. So she goes and puts it back. And this was right before bedtime. So I put the kids to bed. I go into the other bathroom and I'm getting ready for bed. I'm washing my face and I have the door open. And I literally pull my head up from the sink and I'm drying my face. And I just happen to look over at the doorway. And right in the hall outside the door, there's this spider just there on the floor. And I'm like, my initial thought was, did she get that back down again? And then I realized, no, it's way bigger than that plastic spider. And then I'm literally thinking to myself, did she go and get it took me a minute to realize, no, that is a real spider.
How big was it?
It was the biggest wolf spider I've ever seen.
Oh, no.
And you guys, they're big. And if you're in
Yeah.
the Midwest, you've seen them probably, you know. I mean, its body, its thorax, like the main part of its
Just
body or
its
whatever,
body?
was about that. I mean,
Listeners, the
it
diameter
was as
is
big
maybe,
as the palm of my hand with its
Ugh.
legs spread out.
Yeah, and you got some
not
big
my
hands.
fingers,
Yeah.
but the palm. It was huge. And here's what I do when they're in the house. I trap them underneath something, and then my husband takes them outside.
Yeah.
Typically, I will go, I don't know why I feel like I need a clear container, but typically I will run to the kitchen, get a clear Tupperware, and then run back to where it is.
Still in there.
Yes.
You need to be clear
Yes.
so, like, if it
exactly.
escaped, you
Yes.
know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like to be able to see it inside
So
of the
it's like
container.
it's contained.
Now,
yeah.
this one was in the doorway, the hallway right outside the doorway. I was too afraid
to cross it.
to cross it,
Well,
A.
yeah.
And B, I was afraid that my movement towards it to cross it would
run
make
away.
it go, and then it would be lost.
Yeah.
Luckily, I had a Pizza Express cup in the bathroom that I rinse the kids' hair with.
Nice.
So I'm like, perfect.
Those Pizza Express cups are the best.
They really are multifunctional.
Yeah.
So I trapped the spider underneath it. I go out to the garage. I'm like, hey, biggest wolf spider that's ever been in the house for sure. Possibly the biggest one I've ever seen. Need you to come get it. He's like, okay. And, he just does the thing where he slides the paper underneath and takes it outside. So he's doing it. And he's like, when are you going to learn how to do this? And I go, it's not that I don't know how to do it. I go, it's the fact that if I do it, I'm going to be so scared and nervous that I'm going to miff it.
Yeah.
And if even a foot of the spider comes out between the paper and the cup, I will panic and I will throw it across the room, and then the spider will be lost in the house forever.
Yeah.
It's not that I don't know how. It's just that my heart is beating out of my chest and I can't do it.
yeah.
It takes everything I have to steel myself to put the thing over it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I'm not deathly afraid of all spiders. When there's a little jumping spider in the house, I'll pick it up with my hand and take it outside. We get those ones that have the clear bodies almost, just like the house spiders. Mm-hmm. And sorry, those I just vacuum up, whatever. But if it's a little guy, I'll pick it up on a piece of paper and take it out. I'll even put him in my hand and take it out. I cannot with the wolf spiders. And I know they're harmless. They're harmless.
It doesn't matter. They're icky. It's not like I think it's going to kill me. I don't want it on me. Yeah.
They're terrifying.
Yeah.
They're so big. They're terrifying. Yeah. And they carry their babies on their backs. So you have to be really careful. Here's the thing. I don't want to kill them. I don't want to hurt it. But it cannot be in my house. Yeah. It simply cannot.
No.
And so, yeah. But it did. It took me it felt like 30 seconds. It was probably more like 5 or 10 for me to make the realization, no, that's real.
Yeah. And that you had that realization while it was stationary.
It was just stationary.
Yeah. Skittered away.
I know.
I mean, that would have been.
Thankfully, it did not make a single move. And they usually don't, because it's afraid of you. Yeah. It's hoping I don't see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, woo, it was. And that's the thing is I'm used to seeing them. Yeah. That's how big it was, guys, because I'm used to seeing them and I'm like, oh, there's a wolf spider. But it was so big that I literally thought it was a rubber spider.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. I mean, I've growing up in the Midwest, my parents lived in the woods. We'd get wolf spiders from time to time. And I do have one memory in particular where I woke up to my brother and my mom hovering over don't move. My brother had a shoe or something, and the wolf spider was on the wall pretty close to the head of my bed. And my memory of it is that it was like a palm, this big. Now, I don't know actually how big it was. Right. But it was pretty big. Yeah. Enough for it to be oh my God, life-changing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those, they are gnarly.
They can get big. Now, I would say the average wolf spider is about the size of a quarter. Maybe the half dollars. Yeah. I mean, but Yeah, they can get very big, and this was definitely the biggest one I've seen.
Yeah.
This one was more tarantula size.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
And
woo!
see, spiders aren't even like, because I'm very similar to you. Like little spiders, I'm like, whatever, it's
Yeah.
fine. But yeah, the bigger they get, the more. And if they're on me, like at a distance, whatever.
Right.
But like close to me, snakes
And outside,
yeah,
not gonna bother. I don't.
Yeah.
No.
And again,
fine.
I don't want them all dead. I just don't.
Right.
Like,
They can't be in the house.
snakes are much more my fear than spiders. But at a certain point, it's just like,
Yeah.
no way.
No. And like, I don't know how they do it in Australia. I really don't. With the
who lives
huntsman.
there?
The huntsman and the bird spider,
Oh my
the
God.
bird killer or whatever.
I don't know how anybody
Woo!
lives there because there's snake, all kinds of crazy things.
There's
They're
lots of critters.
abnormally large there.
Yes,
all of
everything.
them.
Like the world's largest butterfly, I think, is in
Oh, that's
Australia.
kinda cool. But
Yeah,
it'd
but
still
it's
be
just
scary
like
if you were like, what the
yeah, the world's
You
largest
know?
bat, like
Like
a flying fox.
I was
think they live in
walking-
Australia.
I was walking Suki the other day. And
Maybe
there was
not.
A
It's
dead
probably
bat.
South America.
There was a dead bat in the ground, which was alarming because it was like
You don't see that
you
often.
don't see it, no.
Yeah.
And I do see them like swooping around at night,
Yeah.
or at dusk when I'm walking her a lot. But you never see them like they're not like birds or any other kind of
yeah, well, they're
vermin.
nocturnal. Yeah, you don't.
Well, you don't find them dead, like,
Right.
dropped out of a tree
Yes.
or anything. So yeah, and at first I thought it was a leaf, and then I was like, "Oh shit, that's a bat." I was like, "Let's go," because I was like, the last thing I need to do is pry a dead bat out of my dog's mouth.
Yeah, no, and you don't
Luckily,
want to
she
get
didn't-
rabies.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Luckily, she didn't see it.
Although we have confirmed that we think maybe that's a myth fear of everybody was worried about when we were kids. You don't want to get rabies, and like I've never known a single person that got rabies, but also you're not. Maybe people working with bats are at higher risk of rabies than just your average person.
Yeah.
But we
But
used to
I'm
get
sure
bats
they-
in my elementary school because I went to parochial school and it was attached to the church, and they live in the church steeple.
Yeah.
We had this one particular teacher, our 6th grade teacher, who was very critter centric, and he had like giant millipedes as pets.
I saw that too. I was like,
What is that thing?
"This is a dead spite."
And he kept garden spiders as pets and like just all these different things. But anytime there was this long hallway that connected the church to the school, and the bats would get in this hallway and they'd be clinging onto the wall. And it was always him that had to like go and get them. So we'd march down there with the class, and
Yeah.
here's the bat.
I mean, they are cool, and I think they are great for the ecosystem.
Oh,
but
yeah.
they're also one of those things where I'm like, I don't want them near me though.
No,
I don't want them near me, and I don't want to touch them.
no, I don't want them
Just
getting in my
because-
hair.
Yeah, like maybe I'm sure that they'll all have rabies, but I'm sure they have all kinds of diseases.
Well, probably, yeah. I think they're one of the most popular carrier of rabies, though.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
It's always been the thing.
Yeah.
My boyfriend was talking about getting a bat house. What did he call it?
A bat box.
Bat box.
Yeah, we have
in
bat
his backyard,
boxes.
do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great for eating bugs and
Yeah.
things. Yeah, for sure. And they have them all, like out at Griffey on the trails
Yeah.
and stuff. But yeah. So anyway, that was my introduction into spooky season was
Oh, nice.
a giant,
Spooky.
actually spooky. Yeah.
What? I mean, can you imagine if you were like, "Oh, look at that fake spider," or
And
whatever,
I went to
tried
pick it up.
That's
No.
what I kept thinking you were gonna,
Thank
where you
God.
were going. I was like, that would have been the end of me. I would have
Yeah.
passed away. Right
I
there.
had enough pause
Yeah.
that I would, because I was mostly
it-
just confused.
Yeah,
and then
it probably would have
woo,
moved before you got to it. Of
Probably.
Course,
shoo.
no, you know what that was? Okay,
What?
So that was
Asbestos.
No, it was just dust because
I have a little dust. A little dust mite was floating in front of my face as we were
Yeah,
talking,
it
and we were both like, we both
What is
saw
it?
it.
It looked like a teeny tiny feather from Forrest Gump.
It did look like a Forrest Gump feather.
It's floating like
Yeah.
that. No, that's from you're gonna be.
Grossed out.
Yeah, because I just cleaned my
fan?
air vents and my fan. This is so embarrassing, but I always just have my fans are always running.
Well, and when they run, they collect more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the other night, my boyfriend and I were laying in bed. We were looking up, and my vent, I was like, oh my God. It's like my vent is caked in dust. And I was like, Jesus, I have to clean that. He was like, yeah, also your ceiling fans are really He was like laying on my couch, and either I had turned the fan off for like the first time ever, or he turned it off. He's like, yeah, I was laying on your couch and I was looking up. I was like, oh, wow.
Just like strings of dust
They
hanging
were-
off the ends.
Yeah, I mean, it was caked
Yeah.
all around the corners. And like you could still kind of see it on the
On the
pulley
poles,
things. I
yeah.
get those totally. So I cleaned them all yesterday, and there was it was
a little
raining
remnant
dust.
That was a little remnant.
Yeah, because I've been kind of picking up like dust bunnies that got away all day.
Yeah. But yeah, I do them once a month.
Yeah.
And I don't like to because I have to bring the big ladder in.
Yeah,
and I'm afraid of heights.
Right.
And I'm enough afraid of heights that I don't even like to be on the ladder.
Yeah.
I hate cleaning the fans.
Yeah, I mean, for an apartment, my ceilings are tall.
Yeah, they are.
So
I bet that your apartment complex would do the vents.
Yeah,
Probably not your fans, but I bet if you contacted your apartment people and were like, I need my vents cleaned.
Yeah.
They'd do it.
Well, because I was kind of wondering, I just got one of those like reachable Swiffer things.
Right.
So I only had to get up like one step to reach it. But then all the dust just got pushed in the vent, and I was like, this probably can't be good either.
The whole duct needs to be cleaned, probably. Yeah.
So I might have to investigate that. But yeah, I was like, oh God, please don't judge me for my dirty vents.
It's okay. Yeah, when they start to get little beards of dust, that's when it's like, okay, it's time.
Little dust beard.
Little dust beard. Okay, what's your catch-up? What do you got?
Well, honestly, that was one of them.
Oh, your dirty
Telling
vents.
you my staring out my dirty vents. And then my other one is I've officially entered full loserdom because I've started watching Dancing with the Stars. So you know, I have 0% cool left.
Yeah.
Because I'm watching Dancing with the Stars and kind of enjoying it.
You know what, though? This fits right into something we talk about all the time that one of your favorite comedians said, if you're doing it, it's cool.
Yeah.
And it's okay to like things that are popular. And it doesn't make you more cool to go against the grain, right, than to just like it.
Yeah. It is bad, though.
Is it? Except it is actually not cool.
I really do enjoy watching the dancing. That's fun.
Yeah.
I just like watching dancing. And there's the judges, though. It's just the corniest show of all time. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Project Runway has some cool element to it where it's like, it's just so damn corny. And what's his name? Alfonso Roberto. Is that his last
I don't
name?
know. I don't even know who I don't
He's,
know anything about
what's
it.
his face from Fresh Prince? He's Carlton from Fresh Prince.
Oh, okay.
Is just the most over-the-top corny host. Like, the show is just super corny.
He is Carlton on the show, is what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah, he plays Carlton on the show.
No, I mean, but like,
oh, yes.
as the judge, he is Carlton, the character on the show.
Yeah. And like all the hosts are just complete cornballs. But like the dancing's kind of fun and like it is corny. But I do kind of enjoy it. And I think that's why I'm a loser, is that like corny things are enjoyable to me now.
But that's okay. We've also talked about that, how a level of corn can be enjoyable and is good.
I'm not ashamed.
Yeah, no.
Because I'm admitting it.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just I've entered that phase. You know, I like hanging out with my parents and I watch Dancing with the Stars.
Well, you know what?
I'm just a cornball now, and that's okay.
I think if more people enjoyed hanging out with their parents and watching things like Dancing with the Stars, maybe we would have like a better, nicer society.
Yeah.
So there you go.
I'm also trying. I meant to make this point in the last episode when I did my Father John Misty circle back. Is one of the revelations I had during that experience was that I have to quit being such a hater. I'm really trying to like work on my haterism and not just like instantly be like, oh, I hate that. Oh, that's not cool. I mean, I don't do that a ton.
Right.
But I can definitely be a little like,
poo-pooing on things.
Yeah. It's just like, I don't know. I'm missing out.
Yes.
On stuff that I could be enjoying just because like what I think it's not cool.
Yeah. Yes. Don't steal joy from yourself.
I know. I got to quit stealing my joy.
Don't steal other people's joy and don't steal your own joy.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is I also don't want to be one of the people at the party that's just like, and ruining things for other people.
Exactly. Yeah.
Too,
I talk about that with my kids all the time. And I actually said it to my husband in the car the other day because he was whining about people having their Halloween decorations out already. And this was a couple weeks ago. So, okay, it was only like mid-September. And sometimes he like will be like, you're decorating already? And I'm like, don't steal people's joy.
Yeah.
If people want to be festive and they want to lean into something because it makes them happy and it's enjoyable, why are you poo-pooing on it?
Right.
You don't have to do it. Now I realize we share a household, so if I'm doing it, he kind of has to do it.
Yeah.
But he was talking about other people's houses having their, and I'm like, so what?
Yeah. Literally, there's zero joy to be had on this
That's
planet
right.
right now.
Things are terrible. What did you say? Lives are terrible. Okay? Just
if you
let us have some joy.
you can find an ounce of joy, just
Do it. Lean
nurture
in.
it.
I agree 100%.
So I'm trying to work on that and be like everything, because you know who's really good about that? My brother.
Yeah.
He's just really positive. As much as he can be a little bit of a curmudgeon about certain things, he's
Yeah.
also super positive about everything's great. He enjoys so many different things.
Yeah.
And I'm always just like, oh man, I gotta have that outlook more. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, he's a good guy. Oh yeah, that's fun. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do all these things because
Yeah.
they're all great. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to take that page out of his book. Is that the saying I'm
Yes.
going
Take
for?
a page out of his book.
Nailed it.
I'm trying to have a little skin in the game.
Yeah,
Take a
trying
page out of his book.
Trying to take a stake out of his game, out of his book. So yeah,
Well, good for you.
thanks.
Yeah. It's funny because I always see you the exact opposite. I always see you as somebody who finds the good in things
Oh,
and
really?
like is always striving to like be a better person and like I don't know.
Nice. That's
So
nice to
I
hear.
don't see you that way.
Maybe
but
I'm just hating my own self too much. Just be like, because yeah, sometimes I'm like, "Ugh, am I the hipster who's like, oh, it's not cool enough, so I don't like it.
Well, okay. You definitely, and I know you don't like when I use this word and you wouldn't let me put it on your dating profile, but you are a little quirky in that sense where you are naturally more against the grain. You're not a follower.
Yeah.
You've never been a follower. And that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing. But I understand what you're saying where it's like you feel like sometimes you're hating on something when there's just no reason to.
Yeah. I don't mind not being a follower, but I don't want to be a hater.
Right.
You know, like,
And
finding
it could
balance.
be a
It's
fine line to
yeah.
walk. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't want to be like an elitist hipster either. That's just like,
Right.
I have no reason for this not to be cool, but I've just decided it's not cool enough.
Yeah, and I don't think you're like that. We know people who are like that. We could name a couple, but
Yeah.
you're not like that.
Well, and that's kind of how I felt like I was being with Father John Misty, where I was just being like, I don't fucking like this guy.
Yeah.
For no real reason.
Right.
So.
Right.
But
Well-
now, I kind of don't like him for a reason I have investigated fully.
That's right. No, I'm fine with being a hater. No. Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I think we could all benefit from just allowing joy where there's joy.
Yeah.
And if it's not for you, it's not for you. But you don't need to say it, maybe.
Right.
That, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's what I try to tell my kids. And, you know, I
Yeah.
think with young kids, it really starts with, like, things like not yucking people's yums. And,
Yeah.
like, just there's no reason to be negative or say you don't like something just to say you don't like something.
Right.
Especially if somebody else is saying they like it.
100%. It's just rude.
Yeah.
And you know what I was thinking about the other day was that saying, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt me.
That's
not true.
That's absolutely not true.
Words fucking hurt.
Words hurt more than anything.
Yeah.
I don't know whoever came up with that saying.
A dude, for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
He was like, well, I didn't punch you. I can say whatever I want. Just words.
Right.
So I'm just not going to physically assault you.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from, but yeah, absolutely categorically false.
And that was like the first rhyme you learned as a kid, I feel like.
I know.
We're taught that at such a young age.
And now I feel like we've completely like gone the other direction where it's like, you know,
can't say anything.
we're very, you
Yeah.
can't say anything.
Which is not true.
Yeah.
Also, by
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah. But
Which will bring me to a topic we'll speak on later. Unless we have, what do you have catch up for?
I think the spider was one of my only like catch ups. It is something that's happened since the last time we spoke, so I suppose it was a catch up. But another thing that I just needed to mention is I do have a behavioral disease that I wonder if
yes,
other people have.
You know, we love behavioral diseases.
we do.
On this pod.
So I do this thing where I have a toaster, as most people do, and I put bread in the toaster, push the thing down, and I don't have it quite set to where it toasts dark enough on the first push down. So I push it down again and I'm doing whatever. But the problem is if I let it toast all the way through the second time, it'll burn.
much.
It's too much. And so instead of just adjusting the toaster, I push it down, it pops up, I push it down, and then I hope I catch it in time before it burns.
It's so
instead
easy
of
to get
just
distracted.
moving the dial
No,
1
that doesn't
centimeter.
work. That doesn't work either. I swear I have tried every setting on the toaster. It never gets it in one try.
It doesn't?
No, it's never. I think
I
it's
wouldn't
like,
know because I've never tried to adjust the
I think it's like a toaster conspiracy where like no toaster on the world just has a setting that like medium toast your toast.
Yeah.
You know?
I just want medium toasted.
Yeah, like a regular ass toast. How is that just not the setting?
Right.
Why?
One setting. That's all we need.
Yeah, if you want it
why
darker,
is burnt a setting?
No, if you want it burnt.
And
then
why
do it
is
again.
still soft a setting?
I have no idea. Toaster execs, riddle me that.
Could somebody please get in there and write some code in the toaster and fix this problem?
It can't be that hard.
It can't. It really can't be that hard.
Yeah.
Also, why are toaster minutes the
so
longest
long.
minutes?
Oh, I know. I don't know, but they really are.
They really are.
It's like
It's at
watching
least
your kettle
double
boil.
a regular
You know what?
minute.
Also, like I did not used to be this way, but now it is almost physically impossible for me to take toast out of a toaster with my hands.
Because it burns?
Because I'm scared of getting burnt.
Oh.
And you know, my mom has these wooden tongs. And I'm like, I must get them. Because now I unplug my toaster.
And you stick a fork in there and get it out.
I'm like, I'll literally be like, oh God. I'm like, it's, even if I just barely burn myself, it's not going to be that bad. Like I'm petrified.
Well, because
of burning myself.
Because when you really get yourself,
Yeah, it's bad.
it's bad, and then it's
And
right
then-
on your finger, and you're
Yeah.
doing stuff
and
with
when
your
you
fingers all day.
jerk your hand out, then you end up hitting it again on the other side of
Yes.
your finger. It's
like operation.
it's a shock that is like way worse than the burn itself.
Yes, agreed.
I know, but it's like
Toaster tongs. Who knew?
Yeah, I know. And honestly, I'm like, I need to treat myself to some wooden toaster tongs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why not? Why not? I
Why
think
not?
so. Another thing that I just briefly need to mention, I do have to put my mom on blast. She doesn't really listen to the podcast, so, but my aunts do. She's just really been doing some old people things, and it's just funny because it reminds me so much of my grandma, her mom.
Aw.
And it's just like, I feel like we're all out there trying to not turn into our mothers. And
it's inevitable.
inevitably we just do. And it's funny because like, do we turn into our mothers, or is this just like universal old people behavior that we all eventually do? I don't know. But 2 times in the last couple of months, I want to say, she has sent a message out to me and my aunt saying, I deleted all my texts again, guys. Like, if there's
accident?
yes, I cannot even fathom how it's
How?
possible to accidentally delete all of
of
your
them?
text messages. I'm like, your boomer is really showing. Like,
Yeah,
how
I'm
is this?
trying to think. I've never almost accidentally done that either.
No. So then you start thinking like,
Did you really?
did you really? Or do you just think you did somehow? Yeah, it's got to be hard to do is the thing. I don't understand. So there's that. And then she sent an anniversary card for my husband and I. And I feel like this is something my grandma did too, where they're like, my grandma would always be like, well, if you mail it on Wednesday, it should get there on Friday. Like, they just know how long things take in the mail.
My mom was always good at that. Is good at that too. Like, how do you know?
Well, she did work for a greeting card company, so
That's true.
maybe
but
she just
like,
knows these things. But it was just very, like, my grandma would do that, where if she mailed something to you on Wednesday and you were supposed to have it on Friday, she would text you on Friday and be like, did you get my card?
Yeah.
Did you get my letter? And she did. She goes, did you get my anniversary card? And I think it was the day before our anniversary. And I was like, well, I haven't checked the mail today. And she's like, okay, well, just let me know. You know, and I'm like, it reminded me so much of my grandma because she would. Did you get my card? Did you get my card? Did you get my card?
That's kind of nice.
So anyway.
That's a sweet one, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just funny because, like, would people often, like, when you got a card, if you received it, like, would you, if your mom hadn't texted you, would you have been like, hey, I got your card, thank you? Or is, like, card etiquette that you get the card and then you think to yourself, thank you so much for the card?
And it's just an internal.
Or do you, like, reach out to them typically and say, I got your card, thank you so much? Or was that what mail etiquette used to be?
Yeah, I think for me, it's very circumstantial.
Yeah.
Like, I got a sympathy card recently and from a friend who I kept thinking to myself, I need to text her and thank her for the card. And I haven't done it yet,
Yeah.
but I need to, and I
Yeah.
will when I think about it at a convenient enough time to do it.
Yeah.
But it depends. Like, just birthday cards from family members, I would thank them, I think, when I saw them, or I wouldn't always just immediately,
Yeah.
you know. But I think probably that is the proper etiquette. Like, if
Yeah.
you receive a card from somebody, I think that's appropriate. I think a text saying, hey, thank you.
Thanks
you know,
for
I got
thinking
your
of me,
card. Yeah. I would say that that's appropriate. Now, but this is a very, like, I don't know if this is just an old person thing or if this was my grandmother and now apparently my mom stealing that opportunity from you because
By asking, yeah.
by asking literally this, they're like, oh, it's 3:30 on Friday. She should have gotten it.
Yeah.
Or her mail comes at 11. She should have gotten it. Did she get it? By texting you before you even had a chance to open your mailbox.
Yeah. No, that's funny. That just shows that they're like the anticipation. They're so excited for you to get that card.
Yeah. So anyway, I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, man, my mom's really booming out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We've hit that. We've hit that stage with my parents too. And honestly, there's been a few times where I've done something where I'm like, wow, I can't tell anybody I did that.
Yes. Oh, for sure. Like text stuff
That
and like
is an old person thing. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, hey, I've got an aroma, so and a bunion.
Oh shucks.
I know. Apparently, my feet are 75. So, yeah. What else we got? Oh, speaking of spooky season, I did watch 2 horror movies recently. 2 newer ones. So I watched Weapons, which was my grape from a couple episodes ago, where Julia Garner just texted, hey, and it did get her laid. So I guess that works for some people. And I guess women do it, at least in the movies.
Standard, yeah.
It was okay.
Is it just okay?
You know, it was one of those things. Really excited for it.
Yeah.
Big budget, big marketing budget. The characters were so well written and so compelling, and the acting, it was cast great. The acting was great. But the plot just left a little to be desired.
You know, you're really
like that actual horror plot of what was happening. They did the thing that everyone likes to do where you're really just kind of left with, but like, why?
Yeah.
And like, what actually was it?
Right.
You know, and I don't want to put any spoilers out because it is still relatively new and I don't think it's streaming for free yet. So, you know, I'm not going to spoil it. But I did feel like it was just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
But like, why? You still don't quite have all the information and you're just like, okay.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
So-
that always sucks. I feel like, you know you're a horror movie buff when you think that. Because I watch horror movies and I'm just like, that didn't make any sense. But I guess that's how horror movies are.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know. We'll see. Some people were saying they felt like there was a setup at the end for a sequel. So maybe we'll get some more information. I kind of feel like it just ended and that was, and for as much as I feel like the plot left to be desired, it did kind of like the ending.
Oh, that's fair.
It was a little, and this might be a little bit of a spoiler, it was a little abrupt, which I kind of like. I feel like that's not done often because it is just kind of like, oh, what? But yeah, I don't know. It could have had a little more substance, the plot. I don't know.
Yeah.
So anyway, but I definitely think it's worth a watch just for the characters alone. The characters were great. And so, yeah, I give it like 6.5 out of 10.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
Yeah, and that's just
having no
solely
plot.
because
the characters
yeah,
are cool.
yeah. And then I watched Together with Allison Brie and Dave Franco.
Oh, what'd you think of that?
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Yes.
See,
9 out of 10. Loved it.
I feel like I would enjoy that.
I think you would like that. It was horror comedy.
Yeah.
It was the perfect balance of funny and it's body horror.
Yeah,
so
and
it's not like,
just it's
scary.
weird. It's not like someone's gonna come kill me.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It had a little bit of like a sci-fi supernatural element, as you know a lot of body horror does, and it was great. And I think because they're married in real life, they have such great on-screen chemistry too, and so it was really good.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
they're
it.
both so likable too.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So 9 out of 10. That one was great. I have seen a little bit of criticism for the ending. I loved it. I thought it was hilarious and perfect. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
Some people were like,
I'll have to watch it.
the ending. I liked it. I thought it was good. So yeah, I think that's one you could definitely watch and would enjoy.
Oh, cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm excited to see? I'm not going to remember the name of it, but the new...
I don't remember, but it looked
I'm
great.
so bad with names and saying. Names of movies and sayings, I can never remember. It's the new Paul Thomas Anderson, though. Leo's in it. Benicio del Toro. Tiana Taylor.
What other do I know who that is? What other movies?
Yeah. Super famous.
Is he a director?
Yeah, he's the director.
Okay.
But the lineup is just...
I love Benicio del
stellar.
Toro in almost everything. So.
Yeah. Oh, I know. And he's such a babe.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be...
He's also like, I don't know if we have to cut this out. He's like ugly hot. Benicio
Oh,
del
yeah.
Toro.
I know. Like, his sex appeal is totally his personality.
Yeah. And his
which
voice.
Oh, his voice is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that is the sexiest you can be.
Ugly hot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, well, your sex appeal is literally just you are so
Your-
fucking suave.
The energy.
Like, you emote. Yeah.
Yes, it's the
That
energy.
is peak sexiness.
It's the BDE.
Yeah, I mean, he's way sexier than Leo, that's for sure. And
He never did anything for me, you know that.
I mean, current, what's the word I'm looking for? Current day Leo doesn't really do it for me either. But, like, Titanic, Romeo and Juliet, Leo,
I know.
Ooh, baby.
He wasn't for me then either, but
Yeah.
I can see it, I guess. But
There Will Be Blood, Magnolia, Punch Drunk Love, Boogie Nights. Those are all.
I love
Paul Thomas
Boogie
Anderson.
Nights.
Yeah.
I can't say I enjoyed any of the others.
Yeah.
I didn't see. Would you say Blood Diamond? No. What did you say?
There Will Be Blood.
There Will Be Blood.
That was great.
That one I have not seen. Is that Viggo Mortensen?
No, Daniel
Who's in it?
Day-Lewis.
Okay, I don't.
And
I don't think I've seen that.
Paul Dano, which you like. I love Paul Dano. He,
is.
if you saw him, you would know who he is. He's one of those guys that's in all kinds of stuff and is really good.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen Punch Drunk Love. I didn't care for Magnolia.
He
It
also
was
did. Yeah,
strange.
I'm on the fence with some of them too. Did you see Licorice Pizza?
No.
See, and everyone raved about that. I
Yeah.
didn't love it as much as I thought it was going
No,
to.
I love Boogie Nights was great.
Boogie Nights is
It was
incredible.
before its time, but
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
fabulous. Yeah.
But
No,
it's supposed
to
to be
see.
shot with a 35 millimeter camera, I think, or maybe it's not 35 millimeter, some sort of analog camera that
Right.
like nobody shoots with anymore. It's supposed to be incredible, so I'm excited for that.
Well, you'll have to let me know.
Yeah.
What's it called again?
Well, it's good. I have to look up.
But I've already forgotten. So it's proving my point that I can't remember the names of movies.
I don't think I even looked it up. I was just like, everybody's gonna know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
One battle after another. See, that's the thing with movie. It's movie names.
That's
are
a mouthful. One battle after
No,
another.
that's as bad as or something like that.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
and a lot of times,
Absolutely.
like I'm
Same
sure
thing.
in context after you've seen the movie, it makes sense. But without
Yeah.
knowing the story, one battle after another, that could be might as well be nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One word titles, please.
Exactly.
Titanic. We got it.
We got it. Yes.
Anywho, it looks really good. So
All right.
we've really been yapping.
Yapping. Okay, let's see. What else do we have? So, speaking of, I was trying to look for a segue there.
Oh, speaking of cancel culture earlier, the Riyadh Comedy Festival has been all over the news.
Were we talking about cancel culture?
Well, it came up about like how you can't say anything anymore.
Oh, right. When we were talking about sticks and stones will break my
Yeah.
bones, but words
We've
can never hurt
and
me.
now we've gone to, we've swung the pendulum where like words are very hurtful. We're all aware of that. And it's almost gone so far to some people claim you can't say anything anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, this is a big point of contention in the comedy world. I really like stand-up. I follow a lot of comedians. But I don't align with that. I feel like a lot of them are just like babies about it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can't say anything. Like, no, you can say whatever you want. That's
Right.
the whole point. The government is never going to tell you what you can and cannot say.
Well,
Until now, apparently.
until now. And who
which
knows?
is just the whole... So all of these big player comedians have been invited to Saudi Arabia, to Riyadh, to this comedy festival. They've been being paid huge numbers of money for one performance. Albeit, though, most of them don't need the money.
Right.
Most of them are so wealthy and make so much from touring that like
Right,
they don't
'cause it's
need
like-
the money to go. It's not like this. They're like, oh, this is life-changing money for me. They're all, most of them are rich enough.
Right.
And so there's been a lot of backlash of like, should
Right,
these
and
comedians be going?
And some of them we're talking about, it's like Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr, right? Like some,
Yeah.
like pretty.
Louis C.K. I mean, there were like 25 or 30 people
Yeah.
invited, all down the list. Chris DiStefano.
So
Lots
it
of
probably
people.
really kind of depends on the comedian in terms of whether this is a big paycheck.
Yeah,
for
and
them.
the paychecks range from I think 375,000 to 1.6
Like a couple millions.
million.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and yeah, it just depends on how famous you are. You know,
Right, and what you typically get paid. But it's definitely way more than most of these comedians, even the famous
Sure.
ones, would be paid for one performance. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, that is the point. That like
That was
no one
the
ever
draw.
gets paid that much for one
Right.
performance.
Yes.
But that being said, it's not like these people are like, oh, some of them are, I'm sure, like
Yes.
that would be a lot of money for me.
Right.
And some of them though, it's like Dave Chappelle doesn't need
Exactly.
$1.6 million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so there's been a lot of backlash in the comedy community and elsewhere about like whether it's morally or ethically right for these people to go.
Right.
Most of everyone's reasoning for it, though, has been what's been disappointing is that most of them are just like, well, why wouldn't I take the money? You know, none of them were like, well, you know, I don't disagree with their standings, or, you know, that's something of the past, Saudi Arabia being the worst place on earth politically and
Yeah.
humanitarianly. Humanitarianly? That's not a word, but so
Well, it's
most
not-
of them went.
It's not your strong suit.
No words. Humanitarily, I think is what I was trying to go for. I don't even know if that's the word though.
I don't either.
Humanitarily?
Yeah. What is the
I don't
form
know.
of that word?
Well, anyways,
We don't know.
I sound dumb now, but but I don't know. And a lot of them, Dave Chappelle was like, yeah, you know, he went. It's already happened.
Yeah.
It was like, oh yeah, you know, you can say more here in Saudi Arabia than you can in America now. It's just like, dude, get off it.
Yeah.
Come
I
on.
doubt it. That's
No.
Yeah.
Well, and they definitely had a contract too, where
there were
there were certain things they couldn't
talk.
talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess some of them claimed that there were fewer things than they expected. One woman who didn't go, like, leaked the contract they sent, where it was like, yeah, you can't say anything disparaging about religion, Saudi Arabia as a country, the crown prince. I
Right.
mean, you know,
Yeah,
the things
what you would
typical
expect. Yeah.
But like the repercussions, the consequences are what is scary about that.
Yeah.
You know, like our government, well, can't really say this with as much authority now,
Right.
but our government up until recently hasn't been known for, you know, inciting consequences for free speech, for saying whatever you can.
Right. Right.
That's just kind of bullshit. Like, okay, come on, guy.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
I know you're a comedian, you're making jokes, but like, there's no grounds for that. It's not true.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
Well,
I don't
and I
know.
heard there were people that turned it down, like what Shane Gillis?
Yeah,
Is
Shane
he-
Gillis.
Yeah.
Which, you know, honestly,
And he was like,
yeah, he was like, the guys who planned 9/11? Yeah, no, I don't think I could do that.
yeah.
Yeah, Stavros Halkias. We were listening to him in the car the other day, his podcast.
Yes.
Like, he's actually a pretty progressive dude.
Well, and I think that was like some of the backlash too, is like especially some of these guys like Bill Burr who
Yeah,
who stand for more liberal viewpoints and are, you know, comedy is so much commentary on culture and society that comedy is inherently political.
Yeah.
It just is.
Yeah.
Even if you're, you know, of course there are some people who are mostly just drawing from like funny personal experience, but so much of comedy is political. And so that was some of the backlash too, is that like,
Yeah.
you know,
Oh, yeah.
you're
being
just going to be like a
hypocritical.
total sellout and go here for
Yeah.
$1 million when this is clearly not, your comedy doesn't reflect that you support these kind of values and things.
Right.
So
Yeah, and a few of them had the response of like, well, you know, I want to bring comedy to the people of Saudi Arabia who,
Right.
you know, are maybe victims of their political situation.
Sure.
And, you know, like, I don't want to believe that every Saudi Arabian is
Sure.
you know, acts that way, that there's plenty of people there who, you know, I'm serving comedy to those people who are, you know, basically just subjected to that lifestyle.
Right.
It's hard for me to believe that that's truly why they're going.
Yeah.
You know, that it's
Yeah.
just, it's a
That
paycheck.
it's not a paycheck.
And a lot of
Yeah.
them are kind of, especially Dave Chappelle these days, seems very just like, you know, I think he's the loudest of the cancel culture. You can't say anything anymore.
Yeah.
Argument. And it's just kind of going there to, I don't know for what reason, just to be spiteful or contrarian. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or like prove some kind of weird point. But yeah, and then so many of them were like, you know, I was watching some videos and reading about it and like clips of them over there doing the festival and just like, this place is amazing. Like, you know, I was expecting it to be bleak and horrible and, you know, getting off the plane and people yelling stuff at us and women being mistreated. It's like, but everyone's been so incredible. And it's been like, you know, everyone's just like, I feel like people yell out and I'm like, oh, I can relate to them. And I'm like, yeah, no shit. You get off the plane, you go to the comedy festival, you're experiencing Saudi Arabia in a very controlled environment for a very short amount of time. Like,
absolutely.
You don't think you're going to see the best sides of everything? Like,
exactly.
Come on, you can't be that dense.
Yes.
You know, it's hard
Agreed.
for me to believe that you're just like, Saudi Arabia is great based on this tiny experience I've had.
Exactly.
And now you're using that as like a defense. I don't know. I just thought, I was surprised to hear some of them, like Bill Burr, who have these hard stances, use that as their evidence.
Right.
I was just like, what?
Yeah. Well,
So I don't know. I mean, and again, it's one of those things like, who am I to say what's right to do in that situation? But
I know
that kind of felt like a no-brainer. Yeah, and I do feel bad about like all the people in Saudi Arabia who are victims of just, you know,
their
a
circumstance.
horrible regime.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, sure. Do they deserve comedy?
Yeah.
And like, you know, I don't know enough about.
I don't
that
know
part
enough
of the
about
world
it
to
either.
really have, I guess, enough stake in the game. But,
Yeah.
but yeah,
I don't have a dog in this fight, guys.
Pete Davidson, I think.
Oh
went.
yes, I saw
and
that.
His dad was killed in 9/11. It just
Yeah.
seems like crazy to me that you would take money from a government who we now know to have planned that and executed it. Like, wow.
Yeah.
I would love to hear his
reasoning.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
But I mean, I guess money isn't a good enough reason for most
Let's
people.
reach out.
Yeah.
Let's send him a DM. I'm sure he'll get back to us.
And you know, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just too cynical towards capitalism. I mean, I guess maybe money is a good enough reason for most people to go.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have to be like very circumstantial.
Yeah.
I think in order to like have a proper judgment about that, I would have to know a lot about that person's situation.
Yeah.
And you just don't. And I mean, yeah, I think for me as a woman, probably would be something I wouldn't do.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I don't know, you know, so.
Yeah, and I wonder too, like, you know, because I haven't watched any of their sets, if, you know, any of them were like, this is an opportunity to like go over there and say something. You know, but I don't think they were allowed to do that.
No, I think they made very sure that that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, and that like that wasn't anybody's stance either. I didn't hear anyone being like, "This is a chance for us to go over there
and blow up their spot,"
or even to just like bring a little like, I don't know, alternative thinking,
right?
Or spread peace. No, they were all just like, well, yeah, sounds cool. I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's like, why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
I'm just like, ugh, okay.
Well, and I think we've uncovered more than one time on this podcast that it's typically the worst case scenario and that money really drives everything.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I will say there was, hold on, let me look up her name real quick. Jessie Kirsten, who was a lesbian comedian. She went, and I think she's made a couple statements now that like she kind of regrets and is sorry, like that she went because she was thinking like, oh, the exposure of a lesbian LGBTQ person performing there would probably be a good thing.
Or that maybe she even felt like it was progress that she was invited.
Yeah,
like
just her going is enough of a statement of like.
Yeah.
But anyway, she has since come out and said she's donating all of her money to a humanitarian organization, which I think that's cool. Like that would be something if all
that would have been a
like,
statement. They're like, yeah, we'll come, but we're going to
donating all of our
this money to some like.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, and maybe more people are doing that than I have read about yet, but. Yeah, so I don't know. I just thought the whole thing was interesting, and it really did make me think about, like, yeah, what's the right thing to do? And in the, and kind of goes along with me being like, am I just being a hater, or am I just being like a instant woke person, or like, nobody should be going to Saudi Arabia. That's so fucked up. Like, yeah. But I don't know. After thinking about it, it doesn't really seem like the right thing to do.
I don't know enough about it to really have an educated opinion on it.
Me either. And it's like, we still use oil, so it's like, aren't all of us complicit in bolstering up Saudi Arabia? Probably. So like, I'm not doing anything about Palestine either. So like, I don't know.
I know.
I can't really sit over here on my high horse and be like, how dare you?
How dare you?
Do your job in another country. But.
No, I know. Yeah. I know. It is tough. Yeah. It's tough to know, like.
It's tough to know if I can have an opinion or not. Yes. Am I allowed to have an opinion?
Am I allowed to have an opinion? And that is something. It's a common theme on this podcast.
It is.
Yeah. So, anyway, let us know what your opinion is. I know we'll be flooded with comments. So, good. I feel like we need to move into our weeds topic because we've really been talking a lot. So we are talking about the movie Empire Records. And I don't really know why.
Well, we're doing one of our
so it's a pop culture archives. We've reached into the archive and pulled out Empire Records, which is a cult classic.
Yeah.
And if you have not seen it, you should. I will say it's a little bit harder of a watch as an adult. Yeah. And it is kind of funny because it was not a successful film. Okay, this was a film that bombed at the box office. In fact, the studio was so unhappy with the final cut of the film that they decided to not even promote it.
Oh, wow.
It had zero marketing, no promotion. They didn't like it. They were like, we're not promoting this film.
Oh, dang.
It did horribly. It was like, I mean, absolutely horribly. And it wasn't until years later, I think the movie came out in 1995. It wasn't until 2013 that the cast of the movie, which the cast is great. It's Liv Tyler, Renee Zellweger, Ethan Embry, the guy who played Slater in Dazed and Confused, Robin Tunney from The Craft.
I was trying to figure out, I was like, who is that guy?
Slater. Yeah. So the cast is great. I mean, really a very 90s cast. Fabulous. But it wasn't until 2013 that the cast got back together and decided to go to this screening of the movie. And they thought, it'll be fun to just like go make fun of ourselves. And it was then that they realized that the film had become a cult classic. They had no idea until they showed up for the screening and they took a photo and in 1995, of course we didn't have internet like we have now, but it went viral and all of the fans like were sharing the photo and talking about how much they love the movie. So I thought that was kind of cool that
is cool.
The cast didn't even know until almost 20 years later that it had become a cult classic and that people loved it. So part of the reason why we chose to do this movie is because it was such like a coming of age movie for us, and because it's a cult classic, and because quite frankly, especially for movies for the mid-late 90s, it really touches on almost every issue that young people are really facing even today.
Yeah.
I mean,
a lot of coming of age cult classic movies have maybe one theme where there's a message,
right.
And some of them not at all. Like Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, there's no message there.
It was just fun.
Yeah.
Where this had it was saying a lot of stuff.
Yes, and it wasn't saying a ton. I mean, it's pretty much just like there wasn't a lot of resolution for these characters. I mean, it touches on these different things, but there's not a lot of resolution. But so anyway, and for me,
brought to light a lot of topics.
It brought to light a lot.
Say so much.
Say so much. But it is definitely, for me, one of the first, if not the first movie where I was exposed to some of these things. I mean, it does this trigger warning. It talks about a suicide attempt. And I pretty sure this is the first movie where I was ever exposed to a young person talking about suicide.
Yeah, I think even remembering, you know, because she puts her wrist up and has like a bandage on her wrist, not really knowing what that meant, but like through context clues, being able to like, oh, I think that's what that means, but not really knowing what that symbolized.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah. And it's interesting too because there are sort of like all of basically like in the men too. So like kind of all of like the teen tropes, you know, but especially the women. Because I feel like you have Renee Zellweger, who's the slut, you know, and she's set up to be shamed as the slut. And then you have Liv Tyler, who's like the perfect like girl next door who deserves love and is like smart and going to Harvard. And then you have Deb's character, Robin Tooney, how do you pronounce her last name, from The Craft?
Yeah.
But who's kind of like the outcast.
Yeah.
You know, you have those like three
tropes,
like the three kind of stereotypical like female characters.
Yeah. And they're all just existing in this, you know, record store world, which I always thought was kind of interesting because I just always assumed, oh, it's the same person hanging out there all the time. But they were kind of like introducing this kind of microcosm of like all types of people represented in this record store. I just always thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, it takes place in a record store. The movie's called Empire Records. That's the name of the record store, and they all work there together. And they're all trying to like save the record store from Big Record.
Yeah.
Big Music's trying to come in.
They put a lot of thought into that.
Yeah. Big Music's trying to come in and acquire the record store. And then the guy who plays like the manager, who's really the only adult. I mean, they're all like young adults, teenagers.
His character is hysterical to me because he's always just like, ugh, I'm trying so hard to keep this record store alive, but he's never doing anything.
No, he's never
always
doing
just,
anything.
Like sitting stressed at a desk or like walking angrily from room to room. He's like, guys, I'm over here doing everything I can to save this record store. What are you guys doing?
Right.
So funny.
So kind of the whole premise of the movie is they work in this record store and it's Rex Manning Day. And Rex Manning is a fictional character who's this kind of like washed up musician. They say Tom Jones was the inspiration for Rex Manning. And he's coming in to promote an album and he's like supposed to be doing like signings and things. And Liv Tyler's character is like very fixated on losing her virginity to him. And so there's like a whole storyline with that. And when she goes to approach him about it, there's a power dynamic at play there. And he's old enough probably to be her father. And it's a little unclear as to whether or not she is 18.
Mm-hmm.
It's unclear. They never say. When he asks, how old are you? She says old enough. But who knows what that really means, because all you know is that all you know about her age is that she's gotten into Harvard.
Yeah.
So you assume she's a high school student.
Yeah. Also, old enough sounds like something you say when you're not old enough.
Exactly. And I think she thinks it's going to be this like romantic tryst between the two of them. And it's going to be like so fabulous. And, oh, I'm going to lose my virginity to this famous musician that I've idolized. And
it's a teenage fantasy that is absurd, would never happen.
Right.
But you are so convinced as a young person that it's A, possible, and that B, it's going to work out perfectly just as you imagine it. But I guess it's actually not that impossible because...
Yes, in this instance, it is accessible to her because of the situation at hand. However, I mean, it's definitely, we've talked about this with like toxic fandom and just like really kind of how strange it is. We've talked a lot about our fandom of like people like Leo and the Backstreet Boys when we were like sort of this young, impressionable age, and you're fans of these much older men or men, and how that is a little strange.
Yeah.
And this is sort of a similar situation. I mean, she's, yes, maybe 18, but definitely in high school, and this is an older guy, and it does not go how she planned. He basically just unzips his pants thinking, you know, she's going to service him, and she runs out of the room crying. And then later on, she gets in a fight with Renee Zellweger, who then does end up sleeping with him. So there's a whole like slut shaming dynamic thing going on between the two women, which they do come back together at the end.
Yeah, but not until after a huge blowout.
Yes,
where Renee Zellweger reveals to a large room of people that Liv Tyler has been taking speed diet pills.
Yes,
and then throws them on the ground. It's very dramatic.
It's very dramatic.
It's very overacted.
Yes,
and then, Liv Tyler just like loses her shit, screams, she runs like this, and then destroys the whole record store.
Yes. Yeah, it's very over the top. But, you know, it definitely touches on an issue that was really big in the 90s. Diet pills were huge. And, you know, Renee Zellweger's talking about how, well, I could be perfect too. And I could stay up and study all night too if I was taking speed and all this stuff. So there's some commentary, I think, too, on pressures of young people to perform, especially women. I think there's more pressure, I think, for women to be perfect.
Oh yeah. And Liv Tyler's response was like, I don't want to be perfect. You think I want to do all this?
Yeah.
Like, I have to do this.
Yeah.
So that I can be perfect.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's not a lot of resolution for either of those characters. I mean, it's really not mentioned again after the pills spill on the floor. But what's funny to me is, so Liv Tyler has an admirer, another guy that works in the record store, has a big crush on her, and he wants to tell her that he's in love with her, and he's like talking to the other record store employees about it early in the day. And then the whole thing happens with Rex Manning, where she throws herself at him, and that happens, and she realizes, like, this isn't going to be what I thought it was, and she's immediately, I think, ashamed of the fact that she even had this fantasy and was like gonna go through with it. So she runs up to the roof of the building, and she's crying and she's upset, and that's the moment that he comes up to tell her that he's in love with her. And she's like, I can't handle this right now. I just threw myself at Rex Manning, yada, yada, yada. So anyway, that doesn't go very well. But then at the end, they have this come together where she is like, I do love you. And then it turns out that like he's decided he's going to go to art school near Harvard so that they can be together. And it's almost, to me, it almost comes off as the resolution for all of her problems is that, oh, now you've found love with this boy.
Yeah. Don't go off and just like figure out your life and who you are for yourself.
Yeah, your drug problem is solved.
Right.
Because now this boy loves you.
Yeah,
and
you've been chosen.
And you're going to go together.
You've picked your other option. You have two options. You can either fuck Rex Grossman and fall in love with him. Rex Grossman.
There's a throwback.
Rex Manning.
Oh my god.
Well, it's also confusing because Rex Manning sounds like a football player name too.
It does, because Peyton Manning, Rex Grossman. So if any of our
our
fans know who Rex Grossman is, that tells you something about our demographic. Anyway.
I was doing that when I was watching it. I was like, Rex Manning, isn't he a football player?
You might as well be.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, she had two options. She can either fall in love with that guy.
Yeah.
Or she can fall in love with this other guy.
Yeah.
Those are your two options.
So, yeah. But, it's just a movie where all of those themes come up because you have a big focus on mental health because, you have Liv Tyler's issue with her, being perfect and her diet pills and the pressure of young people to perform. And then you have Deb, who's obviously attempted suicide, and she talks about it a little bit. There's a kind of a, for lack of a better word, funny moment where the manager approaches her because she first comes into the record store, goes straight to the bathroom and shaves all her hair off. Mm-hmm. And that's before you see the bandaged wrist or anything. Then the manager approaches her, I think to talk to her about like what's going on because she shaved her head. And then she says something along the lines of like, oh, are you going to fix me? And shows him the wrist bandage. And then he kind of freaks out and he's like, should I like call your mom or something? So it's almost like we've shined this tiny light on it, but still in 1995, we're not going there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. So, because there really is, they end up having a fake funeral for her at the end of the movie, which is supposed to be like symbolic of like, you know, here's what it would be like if you weren't with us. And so that's like maybe a tiny resolution, but there really is she doesn't go into any kind of like
why.
As
like
to
what
why or what she's struggling
yeah.
with. And there's really no
backstory to anything.
There's no backstory to anything, but there's also like no like sincere, genuine acknowledgement of what's going on with her.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of, some of the employees kind of are like, what's going on, Deb? You need to tell me what's going on.
Yeah.
In the very beginning, when she first shows up to work and like shaves her head off and
shaves her head off.
shaves her head off, shaves her hair off, and then the manager says whatever, and then it's like, oh, should I call your mom? But there's no authenticity really of.
Yeah, it also isn't like the most authentic representation of what I imagine people who are struggling with suicide aren't just going around like, look what I did.
Right.
You know, it's a little bit of a caricature of what people think people struggling with suicide is.
Right. And it's because this was still not something we were openly talking about a lot in 1995.
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. How do we do this? Let's see
You're
here.
making some really good points. Why would we do this?
Why did we choose this movie? No. Oh boy. No, but I mean, that was really the main reason, is that it was ahead of its time in terms of touching on some of these things. When you're talking about,
weren't talking about problems with girls ever. Some typical things that teenage girls deal with. That was not represented in teenage movies, really.
No, not at least not on this
often,
level.
yeah.
You know, like stupid bullshit fights with other girls or like problems with boyfriends. But this really touched on some of the hard-hitting things. Yeah. And again, it didn't go very deep, but that's okay. We were still new at this in 1995.
Yeah, we only had 90 minutes to do it. So.
Right. And
they could have shaved out quite a few of those Ethan Embry scenes where he was just like
well, we're going to talk about Ethan Embry in a minute because he's one of our faves.
He's a bass player.
He's a bass player, and we'll talk about that. But I guess kind of the last thing with the movie that was another theme, again, it wasn't, there was no depth, and quite frankly, they really made light of it, which, given today's culture, is kind of unfortunate. I don't know how bad gun violence was in 1995 compared to how it is now, but there is a small theme of gun violence where Warren, it's this kid who is stealing from the record store, and he's stealing CDs or whatever, and they reprehend him, and he's sitting like up in the office on the couch, like waiting for the cops to show up. And he's kind of a funny character, like throughout. He's like saying funny things, and he's quite a bit younger than them, maybe like 15 or something. And then at the end of the movie, I can't remember if the cops take him away, or I can't remember exactly what happens, but he ends up coming back to the record store with a gun. And there's a scene where he's, you know, pointing the gun at them, and I can't remember exactly what the dialogue is, but it's basically like, nothing's working out for me, you know, and he's coming back in with this gun, like, nothing's working out for me, like he's getting in trouble, nobody's giving him a chance kind of thing. And so they end up giving him a job at the record store. And it's supposed to be like this, we'll give you a chance, Warren. You can work here. Yeah. And then it's sort of made light of, and he does end up working there. And then there's some jokes about it at the end.
Remember that time he brought in a gun, Warren?
Yeah. And okay, you know, unfortunately, gun violence is something that we have a major problem with in this country. So it is what it is, but it wasn't something you saw represented a lot in film then, you know? And so anyway, it's a cult classic. It's a great movie. Again, it's not as good watching it at 38 as it was watching it at 15 or however old I was. But if you haven't seen it, I would say it's worth a watch. And if you haven't seen it for a while, now maybe this is bringing up some themes that you had forgotten about. Yeah. So,
amen.
Anyway,
it was fun rewatching it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
And Ethan Embry's our boy because he's the bass player in That Thing You Do, which is one of our absolute favorites. And he's Nick Papagiorgio in Vegas Vacation.
Changing 1500.
So we love that
Nick
too.
Papagiorgio.
From Yuma.
Great alias.
Yuma, Arizona. In software.
Great alias.
Yes.
Awesome.
So, which in those are two. And Liv Tyler is also in That Thing You Do. So they were reunited.
Yeah.
Reunited. And he's Coyote in the Jane Fonda Lily Tomlin show. Grace and Frankie.
Oh, really?
He's Lily Tomlin's son, Coyote.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's been in a ton of stuff over the years.
Yeah.
I mean, he's great, but...
He's also in Sweet Home Alabama. He was the gay guy in town.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. Yep.
I don't remember.
Great career.
Yeah.
Ethan Embry.
He's one of those people that's like sneaky. Like he's never like
the front man star.
He's never the star, or if he is, it's never like I don't think he's ever won an Oscar, you know,
Yeah.
but I feel like he's in a lot of stuff and he's always good.
Yeah.
You know? So anyway. Okay, should we grape and gripe?
My gripe is kind of lame. My gripe is going out to my haterism, my tendency to hate on things, but I'm already
We've solved that.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so your grape should probably be that it's solved and you're a brand new person.
Yeah. Great.
Done. Moving on. Okay. My gripe is going out to fruit going bad before it's even ripe.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what's the deal with fruit going bad before it's even ripe?
What's the deal with that?
Yeah, I feel like this happens. Well, we know it happens with avocados, but it happens with like pears, mangoes.
Melons.
It like won't even be ready, but there'll be 4 brown spots.
Yeah.
And I'm like, mother.
I wonder if that has to do with like it was just pulled prematurely, harvested prematurely.
Yeah, I
and
don't
had,
know.
No chance.
And I don't know like what fruits, because I know there are some that like don't continue to ripen after. You know what I mean? Like I don't know enough about that.
The ripening process.
The ripening process of all the fruits, but it really grinds my gears when I'm like, this isn't even ready and it's gone bad.
I know. Just being disappointed in fruit in general is so annoying.
It is because
when like you get it out of season or something, you're like, this fruit sucks.
Yeah.
It
And
doesn't taste good.
kids really, I mean, nothing will make you go broke faster than children who eat fruit because my kids easily put away $100 of fruit a week.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it's the one thing I am constantly going back to the grocery for.
Really?
Like I'll get a week's worth of food, what I think is a week's worth of fruit, and in 2 days I'm like, we're out of fruit.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, that's a good problem though.
Yeah.
At least you're not like, chips. You're like, I'm constantly going through chips.
Yeah. So anyway.
Well, that was your grape or gripe?
That was my gripe.
My grape goes out to being in walking distance from a grocery store.
Yeah, that's a nice one.
It's so nice. Like this morning I made pancakes. I was out of syrup.
And you were like, no
I
problem.
was like, I'll just walk down there real quick.
Not an issue.
Walked down to the grocery store, strolled right through, breezed in at 8 a.m., got some syrup, was out of there in a faster time than it would have taken to drive, honestly.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty grateful for that.
Nice.
Pretty grateful.
I'm so grateful. Good one. My grape is going to, it's a simple one, but a good one. Homemade macaroni and cheese.
Ooh.
It hits.
Yeah.
It's just.
I'm sure yours, I don't know if I've ever had your homemade macaroni and cheese.
It's fabulous.
I bet it is because you're a good cook. But you know what's really bad?
What?
When
When
it's
it's bad.
When homemade macaroni and cheese
is bad.
just tastes like nothing. Like you didn't put salt in this bitch?
That's
like,
the
what?
problem. I feel like I've been with people before when they're making it and they're like, "Oh, this cheese is salty enough."
No, it's
not.
No, it's
the
not.
The number one issue you can have with macaroni and cheese is it being undersalted.
Yeah, like when it's good, it's really good. But oftentimes it just tastes like plain noodles.
Yeah.
You know, like you really got to cheese and salt it up. But
Yeah.
sure
You got to know what you're doing, I
Yeah.
guess. Along the lines of knowing what you're doing, I did get a phone call. I think I told you this. I made cupcakes
Oh, yeah.
that I took to my kid's school for her birthday. And I dropped them off in the morning. A few hours later, I get a call, and it comes up like the school corporation calling you. And I was
You're
like,
oh my God.
I was like, oh no. My thought was like, is she sick? Are they calling me to come pick her up because she's sick on her birthday? And it's the woman in the office, and she's like, oh, this is going to sound so strange. She's like, but I saw your cupcakes. And she's like, of course I didn't have one, which I did find out later she did end up, I had made some extra anyway, but obviously she wasn't just going to take one out, you know. But one of the kids doesn't like chocolate, and so they did take the extras, I think, back to the office. But she's like, I didn't have one, of course. She's like, but I can tell just by looking at it that this is the texture I've been trying to get with my buttercream. She's like, can I have your recipe? So
I mean, that's a
just call me
huge
Betty Crocker.
compliment. I mean, for real.
Yeah.
Little Debs over here.
that's right.
Yeah, no, for real. That's a huge compliment, and that is such a Midwestern school thing. That's a huge kudos. You should start a line. You should start selling.
You should start a YouTube baking channel.
I mean, you should start so many things.
We have so many businesses in the pipeline, guys.
You could be so rich off of your icing.
That's right. It's the simplest recipe too. Maybe I'll put it on the podcast blog page that doesn't exist.
There you go.
All right. Well, thanks
Love
for
you
talking with us.
guys.
Love you guys.
Bye.
Sorry we did Empire Records. Bye.